Node 2105.
All the volume up here. Whiskey Bravo Zero, Victor Hotel Fox.
Alrighty. Welcome, folks. Welcome. Sorry for the slight delay. I've been having some difficulties on my end, but I think we got it now. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. Before we begin the net, could I get a real quick radio check?
Barely hear you there, Kimberly, WB0 VHF.
Alright, one moment while I fix my microphone issue. What's going on here? No, microphone is up, nice and loud. Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar testing. Alright, well I tested myself on the loopback and everything sounds fine, so I'm gonna reset and we will begin the net. Gotta love these gremlins, right? Hello, and welcome to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. I am Kimberly, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control operator. My pronouns are she, her. This is a roundtable for general discussions and friendly chats. Please direct all calls through the net control station. We meet every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. Before we begin, is there any emergency or priority traffic? If there is an emergency at any time, please say break, break, and we will assist you promptly. This net provides a safe place for members of the LGBTQIA+ community and their allies to connect over the airwaves. It is open to all licensed amateur radio operators without the need for membership. We also welcome third-party traffic. Speaking of memberships, the Pride Radio Group fosters an inclusive environment for learning, experimenting, and enjoying radio communications. We encourage, promote, and support diversity within the wider radio community. We share our experiences and knowledge, celebrate Pride on the air, and welcome all individuals. To learn more about the Pride Radio Group, join us and gain access to our Discord chat room. Visit prideradio.group, that is prideradio.group, or check out Victor Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf or Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf on QRZ. Membership is free and all are welcome, regardless of who you are and who you love. Unless you harbor hatred towards us, of course. This net is being relayed on the Pride Radio Network and its affiliated systems, including Allstar, Echolink, IRLP, DMR, YSF Reflector, WiresX, M17, NXDN, P25, and D-Star. It is also streamed live on Broadcastify and my YouTube channel, searchable by my call sign, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. For information on how to connect to this network or access our live streams, visit prideradionetwork.com. That is prideradionetwork.com. You can also track and follow this net by downloading NetLogger for Windows, Linux, or Mac OS from netlogger.org. That is netlogger.org. NetLogger allows you to log into the net, view real-time call signs, and actively participate. For Android and iPhone users, you may download On-Air Net Scraper instead. That is On-Air Net Scraper. Now, before we start tonight's net, does anyone have news, announcements, or other items to share with the net and the Pride Radio Group? Alrighty, let's move on to check-ins for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. We will begin with mobile stations, those short on time, and those who plan to participate briefly. If you fall into these categories, please come forward with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. Feel free to share your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar standing by for check-ins for mobile time constrained, also known as for mobile, times constrained, and brief stations, as well as in and out stations as well. Already hearing no response, we will now take check-ins from anyone, anywhere. If you'd like to join the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net, please provide your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. You may also share your pronouns if you wish. One, two. Are we back? Yeah, we're back.
Node 2105.
Alrighty, I should be back on the air. I did saw on my radio there that someone transmitted, but unfortunately I did not have the volume up on the radio, and my sound card went kaput on my computer. But I managed to reset it, and I got it working again. So please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may share your pronouns if you wish.
This is
Whiskey Bravo Zero Victor Hotel Foxtrot, WB0 VHF, Evelyn in Bloomington, Minnesota, she, her pronouns.
Finally. Alright, we had two stations. One of them was Whiskey Bravo Zero Victor Hotel Foxtrot. I did not catch the other station.
This is KC3 VIU Kilo Charlie 3 Victor India Uniform. This is Phoebe in Stevens, Pennsylvania, and I have a guest check-in of Abigail Hart.
Alrighty, Kilo Charlie 3 Victor India Uniform, along with third-party traffic Abigail. Got you both down. Who else is out there wishing to check in? Alrighty, do we have any additional on-air check-ins before we get started? Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by. Alrighty, for those of you who are unable to make it on air, you may check in via NetLogger, the YouTube live stream, Mastodon, WinLink. WinLink is another one I will take. Discord, and you can also send me an email by looking it up on my QRZ page. And we do have a couple of online check-ins, both for Mastodon. We have November 3 Victor Echo Mike and Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray, who both will be in and out. Now, before we get started, I'm going to make one more call for additional check-ins. Do we have any additional check-ins before we get started?
Kilowatt Bravo 3 Sierra Quebec Victor. Kilowatt Bravo 3 Sierra Quebec Victor. This is Jay, Juliet Alpha Yankee, in Berwick, Pennsylvania, and my pronouns are he, him.
Alright, just to confirm, was that a Kilo Bravo 3 Sierra Quebec Victor? Alright, well, I believe I heard Kilo Bravo 3 Sierra Quebec Victor. I did saw on the radio the call sign popped up, so I'm gonna assume that's correct. Who else is out there wishing to check in? Alrighty, let's get started. Whiskey Bravo Zero, Victor, Hotel Foxtrot from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. The microphone is yours.
Good evening, Kimberly and everyone else. Again, Evelyn in Bloomington, Minnesota, checking in. It's been a little while since I'm able to have a free Saturday night here, but that doesn't mean I haven't been doing things. Not necessarily radio related, but the last 2 weeks there's been a girls rock and roll retreat locally put on by a group called She Rock, She Rock. Their byline is for girls, women, non-binary, and trans folks. I was definitely out there representing us, and some of the kids at the camp, the 9 to 12-year-olds and the 13 to 16-year-olds at the camp, definitely had some very wide eyes and big smiles when they saw somebody that they recognized as being like them. So representation matters out there. Other than that, just having a grand old time here and getting things lined up for some procedures, hopefully still this year in the medical arena, and possibly getting my HF station back on the air here now that things are settling down in a couple other areas along that line. We'll swing her back airway before we time her out. WB0 VHF.
Alrighty, WB0 VHF from KJ7 OMO returning. Copy that. Well, I hope all of that works out for you, and fingers crossed on all that. And hopefully we'll hear you on HF one of these days. I'm still on HF myself, but my capabilities on HF are crippled at this time because both of my 100-watt radios are out of commission, so I'm left with a 10-watt radio. But at least I can still get around. Alright, KC3 VIU from KJ7OMO, and it looks like you have third-party traffic with you. Go ahead and take it, Phoebe.
This is KC3 VIU, Kilo Charlie 3, Victor Indy Uniform, Phoebe. Had a pretty good couple of weeks. I missed last weekend because, I thought Reading, Pennsylvania Pride was supposed to be on Saturday. As it turns out, it was Sunday. But so we went out, Abigail and I went out and had a good time. Saturday afternoon, we went and did some shopping, and she found a tremendous little outfit I'm going to post on the Discord in a little bit. And then we went and got some really good Mexican food, and pretty much came back and crashed because I didn't eat hardly anything the rest of that day. So, but we had a great time at Reading Pride the next day, and I'll post some photos in the general chat in a couple minutes. And she's in there doing some makeup before she has to go to work, so she'll do her check-in the next round. And this is KC3 VIU, back to net control.
Alrighty, KC3VIU from KJ7OMO. Not a problem. We'll skip over her entry on the log, and we're gonna toss it. Well, before I say that, sorry, my brain is all scrambled. Bear with me here. We look forward to hearing your third-party traffic, and good to have you on the net. Here we go. We're going to toss it over to KB3SQV, Kilo Bravo 3, Sierra Quebec Victor from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Over to you.
Kilo Bravo 3, Sugar Queen Victor. Kilo Bravo 3, Sierra Quebec Victor. This is Jay in Berwick, Pennsylvania, about an hour north of AC3VIU's location. I don't really have any traffic for the net tonight, but I did finally get my hotspot in, so I am now able to get there via DMR, at least, via hotspot, because there's no reachable DMR repeaters via handheld here. So hopefully you're copying, and hopefully everything's all good with everyone everywhere. Back to net control, this is KB3 SQV.
Alrighty, KB3 SQV from KJ7 OMO returning. A little bit of a picket fencing-like sound in the background, but you are 100% copyable. Your voice itself is not broken up in any way, and your audio sounds excellent. So yeah, you are definitely making it into the network, no problem. Alrighty, folks, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's take a peek out there in Radioland and see who else is out there. If you'd like to be checked into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net, all I need from you are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may include your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for any additional check-ins to the net. Alrighty, do we have anybody else out there before we kick it back up to the top? Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by. Already, looks like it's all crickets out there at this point. I'm pretty sure the others will show up soon. WB0VHF, back to you from KJ7 OMO.
Okay. Been trying to dig through my brain here to figure out what else I have to comment on. Today was pack-out day for the camp, so we loaded a 28-foot U-Haul box truck completely full of band gear from the campsite to bring over to the storage locker. I don't know if they have like 15, 16 sets of drum kits and monitors and PAs and guitar amps and guitars and basses, and oh, it was a never-ending line of equipment that we had to haul out of there on a summer warm day. So I'm exhausted. My brain's not working so well here, so I may take a short cycle on this one, see if I can come up with something a little bit more next go around, and let it go at that. WV0 VHF.
WB0 VHF from KJ7 OMO returning. Not a problem. You're not the only one that experiences Oh, a phenomenon. I'm trying to be FCC friendly here. A phenomenon that involves the brain having some flatulence. There we go. KC3VIU from KJ7OMO. We'll toss it over to you.
This is KC3VIU. Yeah, so Abigail did have to go to work, so my third-party traffic, she left for work. Unfortunately, her car is having difficulty, and it's in the shop now, so she needs to borrow my car in order to go anywhere, so there's that too, so it's sort of like, okay. But, you know, that's the fun of having a roommate and stuff like that, so. Anyway, I did get those photos posted into the general chat. Yeah, we had a really, really good time. I'd like to note that the margaritas were not mine, but the root beer was. But yeah, we had a good time last weekend. Riding Pride was amazing. It's always warmer there. It's always warm that weekend for the past couple of years, and it's usually extremely damp on that day. I mean, humid like crazy. And then we have these shirts that we're asked to wear, these T-shirts, and they're generally nice, thick, beefy tees, which doesn't go over well because they're really nice and thick and beefy, and you trying to perspire. And for any trans femme folks, you know, the only thing worse than sweating down below is sweating up above and sweating down below. So, at any rate, I'll have more next round. KC3VIU, back to net control.
Alright, KC3VIU from KJ7OMO returning. Those are some wonderful pictures there, and they've been, hopefully you don't mind, but they've been placed on the live stream. And those look like huge drinks. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. Yeah, if I were to drink maybe a couple sips of that, and I'd probably be wasted. Woo! Anyways, looks like we have third-party traffic from YouTube livestream from JMB, who says, "Yay, live picture! Yay, Pride pics! Pics as in pictures." Heck yeah. Well, Jay on YouTube, if you'd like to join along, feel free. If you have a call sign, then we'll get you checked in. If not, then you'll be third-party traffic. And speaking of third-party traffic, Phoebe, does your third-party traffic like to come on the air?
KC3VIU. This is Phoebe. Yeah, she did have to leave for work. She was in there touching up her makeup, and she's like, "No, I'm sorry, I gotta run." So that's where, yeah, I'll catch her next time around. I think it was just a delay in getting the net started and no shame on you, Kimberly, or whatever. It's just the delay in getting the net started, I think, was caused enough of a delay that we couldn't get her in. So, at any rate, thank you for asking. And back to net control. This is KC3VIU. Back to KJ7 OMO.
Alrighty, not a problem. KC3VIU from KJ7OMO returning. And it looks like that third-party traffic from YouTube was not third-party traffic. He is the next person on the list, KB3SQV, who is also on the YouTube live stream. Welcome to the live stream, by the way. And we'll toss it over to you.
Kilo Bravo 3, Sugar Queen Victor. Yeah, I like to tune into the YouTube stream while you're running it there, Kimberly. Looks like I'm going to be possibly changing to in and out. I'll have you in my ears, but I got a couple other things I got to tie up here at the home QTH. So I'm going to say 7-3s. KC3 VIU, those Pride picks looked awesome. And look forward to possibly hitting up Reading Pride next year. I completely forgot about it this year. So 7-3s to everyone, and back to net control. KJ7OMO, KB3 SQB.
Alright, not a problem. Thank you for stopping by, and 7-3 to you, and feel free to check back in anytime you like. Alrighty, folks, we are at the bottom of the list, so let's open this thing up for more check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may include your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar she her, and I will be standing by for more check-ins to the net.
Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta. Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta, and of course he, him. I think you know me by now.
Alrighty, Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta, I got you down. Welcome aboard. Always good having you. Who else is out there wishing to check into the net? Oh my goodness, somebody shared a funny thing on Discord. Alrighty, do we have any additional check-ins before we pass it on over to Tony? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar standing by. And that picture I just showed is true, and it is very true. Alrighty, VK3 JED, go ahead and take the mic, KJ7OMO. Welcome aboard as always.
There you go, Kimberly, everyone on the net. Don't know who's there yet. I haven't had a chance to check out NetLogger. I might just do that in a second. Just had a quick skim over Discord to make sure there was nothing reported. Just got home a few minutes ago from the track, and a fairly quick bike ride back, aided by a tailwind and trying to beat the weather, which I did manage to beat. It's not going to be too bad, but I'd rather not get any rain. So achieved that goal. Yeah, good session today. Radio-wise, yeah, not a lot happening. Everything's sort of settled. Starting to make plans for getting some antennas up, but looks like that's probably not going to happen till next month. The weather will start to improve then too. I think it's drying out anyway, but yeah, things should start to warm up as well by then. Anyway, hope all is well. Not too sure of the topic of conversation. I've only heard a couple of overs. KJ7OMO, the Group BK3JED.
VK3JED from KJ7OMO returning. Well, I'm glad that you had a good run and that you were able to make it home before the bad weather hits. And yeah, well, hopefully we'll hear you on the airwaves next month on the HF. Alrighty, before we kick it back up to the top of the list, was there any other station trying to check in? Oh my goodness. Phoebe just posted a picture of a very adorable cat on Discord, and I'm going to show it on the live stream here in a second. WB0VHF, we'll toss it back to you, KJ7OMO.
Yeah, a very adorable cat right after the commentary about Ready Kilowatt being a felon in waiting. Quite a juxtaposition of the two postings there, Phoebe. Love them both. Let's see here. Other news and notes. Not a whole lot. Again, I'm just kind of vegging out. Of course, it's 20 to 10 local time here for me, and I'm normally a night owl, but I think I'm going to turn in early tonight. It's been quite a day after quite a week. It's been a lot of fun this week. I had a couple of new consults here for some stuff. Nothing really progressing much on those, but had a consult last week that was very, very positive with the GCS providers. So just waiting for some paperwork to clear the insurance before I set a surgery date here. So that's the big celebratory news on my part. And we'll let it go at that. And swinging back your way. Question for you can fill in: is there a Pride HF net or contest or event or something like that coming up? I'm trying to read between some of the comments here on the air. WB0 VHF.
WB0VHF from KJ7OMO returning, posting more cat pictures on the live stream because Phoebe posted another cute kitty cat on the Discord. For Pride HF nets, there are none. I am interested in actually starting a Pride HF net, but at the moment I don't have a strong enough station to make that happen. And plus the condition, I don't really have a great antenna setup either, and the conditions, even though they're improving, I'm not sure. They're still not quite good enough to post a to host the net on HF. But I am very interested in eventually starting an HF version of this net. Now, from what I understand, I think it's Tony. Tony was thinking about setting up a HF relay of this very net using FreeDV. And that's going to be exciting once that is up and running. To be able for folks to check in using digital voice over HF. But you'll have to point your antenna towards Australia in order to do that. That's if you could move your antenna around at all. Back to you. Oh my goodness. Another adorable cat photo.
Was that back to Evelyn, WB0VHF.
Yeah, back to you for any further comments.
Okay. No, that was kind of what I was looking for there. I thought somebody had said something about see on HF next month or something like that. Wasn't sure if there was something scheduled or whatnot. So, but yeah, conditions I hear are improving. The Newsline notice tonight said that they're thinking cycle 25 may be one of the better ones we've had for the last several cycles. So, definitely getting excited about getting myself back on HF here and trying to try that out because I should have a little bit more time now that I got myself retired. So we're looking forward to that and seeing what we can make of it. WB0 VHF.
All right, WB0 VHF from KJ7 OMO returning. That sounds awesome. It looks like the bands are really starting to open up, and hopefully I'll be able to get another powerful station again, like another 100-watt station here in the future. But yeah, I did recently started a fundraiser to replace my dead 100-watt radio, so we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Anyways, we're gonna toss it over to KC3VIU, and it looks like we have someone from England too, Whiskey Zero Papa Quebec Uniform, who wants to know if this is over RF or radio over IP, and the answer to that is both. And I will post a link to the information on the YouTube live stream here shortly. And looks like KB3SQ Victor wants an invite to the Discord. I will provide information on how to obtain that here shortly. Alright, we're going to toss it over to Kilo Charlie 3 Victor India Uniform from Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
This is KC3VIU TV. I might have some accidental third-party traffic as the cats are crying, and they want some attention, so I'm pretty good at calling them, so if you hear some cat sounds, that's what's happening. So I think they'll keep it clean for the FCC, although I'm not entirely sure what they're saying in cat language, so maybe I'll get a 7-second delay. Yeah. Hi. Anyway, yeah, I just posted a bunch of more cat photos. I just love these cats. We had to take the one to the vet this week to get her checked up. She had some health concerns and stuff, and I won't embarrass her by saying what it was. So, but at any rate, she's doing much better now. And as far as the radio stuff goes, I just keep getting back into looking on eBay for different kits and things like that, and I found this lightning detector kit that uses a vacuum tube, or as they say over there, a valve, to detect lightning. And I've had difficulty setting up the one lightning detector here because of proximity to an FM radio station, and I just keep wondering, like, how I could prevent that station from getting in to my setup. One moment here while I catch the timeout. So the other question I have for everyone is if this radio station that's nearby, it generally causes some pretty bad problems in different equipment, but I've noticed since I purchased this new car, and it uses Wi-Fi/Bluetooth for me to connect to my Apple CarPlay. Like, I'm actually getting interference from the radio station that's causing the signal to drop out. And my first thought is, oh, I should get some ferrites or something. But I'm thinking, to protect the car, I'm going to have to hit like the battery wires or a bunch of other wires and stuff and try and tear the car apart to find these things. Does anybody know if they make ferrites that are big enough to handle like battery cables on the car? Or any other solutions that might be effective to keep the interference out of the car? I guess it might be useful also if I put a mobile radio in the car. So, at any rate, back to the net control. This is KC3VIU. Back to Kimberly, KJ7OMO.
KC3BIU from KJ7OMO returning. I am not sure. If it was FM radio interference getting into your, I'm talking about FM broadcast getting into your, RTL SDR dongle or some other receiver that's affected by it, then the thing to get would be a, I can't remember what type of filter it is. I don't remember if it's a band pass or a notch or a high pass or a low pass, but one of those types of filters could block out the FM station or even AM station, broadcast station, if there was interference from that, but you'll need to get a different type of filter for that. But beans that it is messing with your car equipment and also messing with your Bluetooth connection, yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know how to solve that problem. But maybe somebody else who is more technically inclined can... well, don't get me wrong, I am very technically inclined, but somebody else, I should say, with more knowledge than I have, rather, should be able to answer your question. And if not, then you can go ahead and post the question on the Discord. Alrighty, we're going to toss it over to VK3JED from KJ7OMO. Take it away, Tony.
Okay, Kimberly, a couple of things. Probably need more information on the interference. I'm seeing some potential assumptions. But you sure how it's getting into the car? Maybe done some tests to work out the path of interference that's getting in. It sounds like it's an AM station. Didn't even say the band, but the symptoms I'm sort of inclined to think it's AM getting into something. It's a question of exactly where it's getting in. You can't apply ferrites until you know where to put them. And then some things may not respond well to ferrites because they're carrying signals that are sensitive to the filtering effect as well. But certainly, if it's getting into DC supply lines, the ferrites should be able to help. That's your first goal. Work out where, or your first task, work out exactly how the interference is getting in. Then work out how to treat it. So you're identifying and that. Without data, we can't help. HF, it is something I'd like to play with at some stage. Obviously, that's got to wait till the antennas go up. It is on the experimenting list. It may be QRP, only because the ASU is a lot easier to interface. The 818, that is, a lot easier to interface than the older radio. The downside is we'll be running pretty much QRP, so it'll be a very limited test, or I can do a local test on 2 metre single sideband. Eventually it would also rely on me being here because I would have to supervise the system while it's running. Can't run it unattended like I could with the repeater when it's up. Yeah, there'll be some limitations that won't be guaranteed every week, and probably ongoing as an experimental basis. So you can see early next year definitely be like 3 months where there'll be no possibility of HF because of lack of time, and in the winter months it may be on late because of the time I get back from the other side of town. Yeah, there's something else in there as well, but it slipped my mind from someone. KJ7RMO with the group VK3JD.
VK3JED from KJ7OMO returning. Phoebe clarified that it is a FM broadcast station on 105.1 megahertz. That's causing the interference. Back to you, Tony, for further comments.
Well, that answered one question, but we haven't answered the question of where it's getting in. Yeah, that's the question I'm not so sure on.
Alrighty, well, while we wait for her answer, we're gonna take another round of check-ins to the net. So if you'd like to check into the net, join the conversation and have fun, or if you'd like to check in briefly, doesn't matter. We take all check-ins. All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. And you may share your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, and I will be standing by for any additional check-ins to the net.
Two Whiskey Zero Papa Quebec uniform. 2 Whiskey Zero Papa Quebec uniform. And I'm he/him.
Alright, finally got you down. I was having a little difficulty with NetLogger there. 2 Whiskey Zero Papa Quebec uniform, got you down. It's awfully rare for us to get a UK station, but we welcome them every time we get them on the air. Alright, do we have any other check-ins before we carry on? Alrighty, 2 Whiskey Zero Papa Quebec uniform from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Go ahead and take the mic.
Okay then. Yeah, I won't give us enough food, but 2W0PTV, now joining in. Been given a bit of Digimoji go tonight. Obviously it's 2 minutes to 4 in the morning here, so it's, a lot of things are starting to drop off. I'm starting to get to a PSO, so I was about to head off, but I've seen you were live on YouTube, so I thought I'd have a look and realise what it was, so I thought I'd fire up Echo Link. So I won't be on for terribly long, but I'll stay around for about 10 minutes, and then I'll be gone. But yeah, got a few FTA contacts tonight. Nothing too exciting, you know. I've been trying to work the mean appreciation month stations like Victor Charlie 9 Fanboy and Victor Charlie 2 Stonks. but it's just not seeming to work. So, as for the previous question about interference, I haven't got a bloody clue. Just, yeah, the best that you can do is possibly try putting some phthalates on the thing, but, you know, radio is a weird and wonderful thing, so we're still learning. You know, think you know everything and something else pops its head up like this. So I'll pass it back to the next control. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, from Chile, Zero, and Pato, Quebec, Uniform.
Alrighty, to Whiskey Zero, Papa Quebec Uniform from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. By the way, your audio levels are very low, so I had to crank you up to be able to hear you, and even then I still had a hard time. So you may need to adjust your microphone. But yeah, it's good to have you on the net, and yeah, always great having the rare UK station on the net. Alrighty, before we kick it back up to the top, did we have any additional stations wishing to check in? Alrighty, KC3VIU, go ahead and take it, KJ7OMO.
This is KC3VIU. Yeah, I appreciate the investigation on this. It's been bugging me for quite a while, and I keep forgetting to bring it up. You talk about the brain hiccups and stuff like that, rather than refer to Flatus. Hi. It's one of those persistent things, and the closer I get to the transmitting tower, the worse it gets, but it's only on the one side of town. Like, if I'm on the east side of town and moving to the southeast or in that region, it can get fairly bad. But if I'm on the west side of town, the opposite side of the hill, it seems like it doesn't affect it very much. Now, it's up on top of a pretty good hill. There's a lot of rock there, you know, probably some iron and whatnot. So probably getting weird reflections and stuff like that. But there are certain places where I can get it to drop out. But if I park on a hill nearby where the transmitter is, shut off my car, start it up, and then start running it, then it seems like it overcomes that interference and can be immune for quite a while. In fact, I might even be able to drive all the way through the interference places and make it home without any dropout. So it's like it starts on one side of town where there's no interference, and when I pass through the bad spots, then it picks it all up. But if I start the car where the interference is bad, a lot of times it can negate it on its own somehow, and like self-mitigation, and then it's good. But anyway, I don't want to spend too much time talking about that. I mean, yes, I do and I don't, but I'm not going to waste the night's time tonight. So, but it is fascinating to me. I do a lot of this at work, and I solve some pretty serious problems in equipment, telematics devices we put in our own vehicles, and gotten some pretty good kudos for it. But this one, because I don't have access to all the parts and rip out the panels, and if I break something, then I need to go back to Volkswagen and get the parts and stuff. It's like I'm just not ready to go too deep into anything at this point until I have some better plans. And or, I mean, if I put big ferrites on the power supply from the vehicle and try and eat up the energy as it rides along the power lines throughout the vehicle, maybe there's a chance I can quash it enough, just enough to make it work. Otherwise, I'm thinking FM traps and this and that. Anyway, I'm back to net control. This is KC3VIU, back to KJ7. Thank you.
KC3VIU from KJ7 OMO returning. Copy that. Yeah, that is so strange. I mean, For a moment, I thought, well, maybe it's a 100 kilowatt station, but I looked it up, and it's only a 25 kilowatt station. But wow, they must have some really high gain antennas on their station or something. Cause yeah, it's crazy that it would cause so much interference throughout the entire, part of town there. It might possibly be due to faulty equipment in your car, I'm not sure. I mean, if you can't filter it out with ferrite or FM traps or anything, then you may need to look into replacing the equipment with something else that would tolerate the interference more. That's pretty much the only thing I can think of. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and toss it over to VK3JED. This is KJ7OMO. Go ahead and take it.
Okay, I just posed a question on Discord. What happens when you transmit around the car on 2 metres, even with HT, the field strength locally, because of proximity, should be a lot stronger, especially if you start waving the antenna around the engine bay or the dash. I wonder if, because the frequency is sort of in the same general area, I wonder if you can induce it that way and use the HT as an RF probe. That's just thought for a troubleshooting technique, because you should be able to get equivalent, if not higher, field strength since you're inches away instead of miles away. There's no way even a 25 kilowatt station miles away is going to generate the same field strength as a HT an inch away. So, definitely something else to try, or get someone with a 50 watt radio to park next to you and hit the button and see what happens. Anyway, and yeah, you can do all the free paid space pass loss figures if you don't believe me. But you'll find, yeah, you should be able to get much higher field strength. And welcome to Ethan, it looks like, going by the info on NetLogger. Welcome to the net, and nice to see someone from the UK on over. It's not a UK-friendly hour. At 4 in the morning, I'm only awake at 4 in the morning if I'm getting ready to work an early shift, which I'll be doing tomorrow. And I'm up just before 4 in the morning to do that, but certainly don't stay up that late. That's not good for me at all. And I concur with Kimberly. Your audio's a bit low. Your signal's also not real strong, but the low audio is making it harder to dig you out of the noise. If you spoke into the mic a bit louder, or had mic gain that you could turn up, it would certainly significantly improve readability. Anyway, KJ7 OMO with the group VK3JED.
VK3JED from KJ7OMO returning. Lots of stuff there to unpack, but I'm going to toss it right over to 2 Whiskey Zero Papa Quebec Uniform. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Go ahead and take the mic.
Before I take the mic properly, is my audio any better now? 2 Whiskey Zero Papa Quebec Uniform.
Negative. Hey, you sound like you are very far from the microphone.
I'm using AirPods, so I'll take the headphone out my ear and try that. Is that any better? I'll try and sort it before I take the mic, so let me know.
Okay, that would explain it. Well, I heard you much better, but then I heard the echoing, and that basically canceled you out. Back to you to try again.
That's okay then. I'll just listen for now until I can get an RF or a better an RF sorted or a different microphone. So I'll just listen. I'll pass it straight back to you so you can hand it to someone else. KG70MO CW0 here.
Alrighty, 2 Whiskey 0, Papa Quebec uniform from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, not a problem. Alrighty, folks, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have any additional stations out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need from you are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may include your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for anybody else wishing to check in to the net.
Oscar Mike Oscar, Victor Kilo 2 November Mike Zulu mobile in the car right now. Hopefully I am coming through to you.
Alrighty, just to confirm, are you Victor Kilo 2 November Mike Zulu?
Kimberley, yes, no, Victor Kilo 2 November Mike Zulu, Brad this way. I am just in vehicle travelling back home again after a semi-successful fox hunt this morning. I hope everyone is well on the net. I'm just getting into RF directly, but I don't know how well or how long I'll get into this repeater for because it's quite some distance away. I hope everybody is well and keeping out of trouble, and if not, then get into trouble and don't get caught. Hope everyone has a fantastic week, and I'll catch you some other time. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, Victor Kilo 2, November Mike Zulu.
Alrighty, Victor Kilo 2, November Mike Zulu from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Here is your signal report. A little bit of crackling, a little bit of slight picket fencing, but you are 100% readable, 100% copyable. No problem at this time. Alright, before we toss it back to you, is there any other stations wishing to check in? Alrighty, Victor Kilo 2, November Mike Zulu, from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Go ahead and take the mic again.
Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, Victor Kilo 2, November Mike Zulu. Yep, that's I definitely understand the picket fencing, or for the other kids playing at home, that would be Rayleigh fading. But yeah, that's understandable because I am driving approximately 100 kilometres an hour along the motorway, and we're going through passing several trees, so there's different bits of path loss and everything like that. So that's all good and under a big metal bridge. But not much else there. It was a nice little fox hunt, besides a couple of little whoopsies, which you'll all find out about later. It was nice to meet up with Ray and Amy as well this morning, DK2 GPU. So we got to have a catch up and have a very brief little fox hunt thing as well. So it was a very successful morning, and yeah, now taking the 2-hour drive back home again. So I haven't really got anything else here. It was just a check-in. I'm coming in via the VK2 ROT repeater, located in the Starbucks sitting on somebody's desk. But anyway, yeah, I hope everyone has a great afternoon, and just called driving. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, Victor Kilo 2, November Mike Zulu, 7388 and 33s, everyone.
Alrighty, Victor Kilo 2, November Mike Zulu from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Well, your signal started to degrade at the end, but I still was able to copy everything. Anyways, good to hear you out there. Glad that you had fun with Ray and company with fox hunting. And I wish you a safe journey home. 7-3 and all the numbers to you. And thank you for checking in. And we look forward to hearing you on the next one. One of these days I want to make a trip over there just to meet all of my Australian ham radio friends and have a little fun fox hunting or whatever other radio things we could do. Hi. And maybe go out on adventures and whatnot. Maybe even a little outbacking. That would be fun. Anyways, take care. Alright, before we kick it back up to the top, was there any other station wishing to check in? Alrighty, KC3VAU, go ahead and take it back, KJ7OMO.
This is KC3VIU. Sorry for the delay there. I had to get back into that app. I picked up a new iPhone 14 a couple weeks ago, and I have trouble because I don't have the physical home button anymore, so I found an accessibility help for me, because I can't always scroll up straight from the bottom. I don't know if it's my finger or what, but there's a neat little thing where you can put a simulated home button on the screen and then tap that, so it makes it a lot easier, but it's still sometimes... it takes a little bit more thinking than the physical button, but a lot less thinking of, and a lot less panic from trying to actually swipe up and miss for half a dozen times. So, at any rate, hi. So, I'm going to probably be clear after this. I did want to say thank you to the group for the suggestions and the thought process. Certainly, I think the idea of tackling it with the 2-meter rig would be awesome. I don't know why I didn't really think to do that, but I didn't. And so I appreciate Tony and the rest of the folks with their comments. Yeah, I definitely got to give that a try. And I've done that many a time on our vehicles at work, but for some reason it didn't translate over to doing it here. Oh, embarrassed. In fact, I didn't even think about what, it took me the longest time to figure out what the source of it really was. And it wasn't until this past February. I'd had the car almost a year before I figured out what the real source of it was. But let me step over this thing out here. And I kind of wanted to figure it out on my own a little bit too. Once I realized what it was, I thought if I could get in there and put some ferrites or something, but I'd need some pretty big ones for the cables, etc. It's like, but yeah, I agree. Maybe taking it back to the dealer, they'd have to bring it down here in order to test it and stuff like that. But it's pretty darn repeatable, and it seems like it happens more during the winter and a little less frequently during the summer. And I don't know if that's due to transmit strength or something, better conductivity on the wires, the transmitting wires. But it's speculation on my part, on my part there. At any rate, and who knows, the transmitter might be working more efficiently too with cooler weather. At any rate, so yeah, I had a great week, and I'm gonna close down shop for tonight. 33 and 73 to all, and thank you for having me on the net. This is KC3VIU, back to net control, KJ7OMO. Thank you, Kimberly.
Alrighty, KC3VIU from KJ7OMO returning. Well, good stuff. Glad that we were able to give you some advice on how to fix that, and hopefully you'll be able to get the problem fixed, or at least figure out what's causing your equipment to go bonkers near that station. And yeah, if you need any advice on anything, and this applies to everybody, don't hesitate to reach out, on our, reach out anytime on our Discord chat room or however else you are able to get a hold of us. I mean, we'll gladly help you out, help you get the problem sorted, or at least try to. Anyways, thank you for stopping by, Phoebe's 30 and hanging out with us and all that. 7333 and all the numbers to you, and we look forward to hearing you and your third-party traffic on the next net. Take care and have a good night. VK3JED from KJ7OMO, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, and good luck, Phoebe, with that car problem. Hopefully the 2 metre rig will give you some idea what's going on, but yeah, I'm sort of of the mindset if there's a warranty job, let them do it. If they can't, then by all means have a crack yourself. Yeah, that way you can sort of get the best of both worlds. Or yeah, wait till it's out of warranty, then have a crack. But yeah, that extra bit of description of the interference certainly gave some clues as to what might be going on. But it might still take a bit of further digging to identify the exact mode of interference. But hopefully it'll give you a starting point. And g'day, I think it's Brad. I think up there in Sydney, if you're still within range of ROT. Yeah, sounds like the fox hunt went well, and yeah, good that you caught up with Ray and Amy. I haven't met Amy, but certainly have met Ray, and yeah, looking forward to catching up with the gang up there next time in Sydney, hopefully next year with a bit of luck. If that plan that was mentioned a month or two ago comes to fruition, definitely want to come up for that, and the feasibility is looking good. So anyway, I'm in the process of making something to eat, so I'll probably go on the side for a little while. May or may not come back later, we'll see. KJ7OMO, the group VK3JD.
Had a little mishap on NetLogger there for a second, my bad. Anyways, alright, Tony, well, 7-3 to you, and always good having you on as always. And yeah, and thanks for hanging out as always. And yeah, we'll definitely look forward to hearing you on the next net. 7-3 to you as well. And yeah, we'll probably look at winding things down here at this point, since everybody's dropping like flies. 2 Whiskey Zero, Papa, Quebec Uniform from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Go ahead and take the mic. Alright, we'll try for 2 Whiskey Zero, Papa, Quebec Uniform. One more time. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Alrighty, well, looks like we lost that station. Before we shut the net down, do we have any additional check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need from you are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may include your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for the last time for any additional check-ins.
WB0VHF will make an official check out.
Alrighty, hearing no additional check-ins, do we have any final comments from any station?
WB0VHF 7333. Have a great week. WB0VHF.
Alright, 7333, and we look forward to hearing you again. Take care. Any other additional final comments?
This is KC3VIU. Final comment is zap. So now I've dropped like a fly. 7333.
Silly head. Silly head. Such a goofball. Alright, 7333 to you as well. Any other additional final comments before I shut it down? Alrighty, folks, that concludes our net for today. Thank you all for participating and bringing fun to the airwaves. I would like to express gratitude to the Waverly Amateur Radio Society in Sydney and the team behind the VK3RBO repeater for allowing us to use their systems to relay this net. Special thanks to VK3JED and VK2WAY for their contributions, as well as the entire Pride Radio group for making this net possible. I now release all frequencies, repeaters, and other systems back to their regular amateur use. Thank you once again, and 7-3 to everyone from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar. And for those of you who are watching the YouTube live stream, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. Be sure to like, subscribe, or ring the bell. And we'll see you on the next one. Who knows if I'm going to be back on the air for another HF session or perhaps on the next net. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and stop the stream. So, 7-3 from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.